My trousers are really uncomfortable.
Take them off.
Hello there. Welcome to the fifth Heckers Comedy Podcast, and the Dream Team is reunited.
Yes. I better put on my deep voice for this one. I'm Dylan, also known around these parts as the Spanky Yankee.
I'm Lloyd. You know who I am? The guy with the shirt.
Resident Goth.
Guy with the shirt who brings the hurt.
And
gear.
and me, Luke Biddle, bringing it home.
Compare without compare.
Oh, beautiful. Like a meerkat. Compare the meerkat. That's my little compare joke.
No, I hate that thing, man. That thing,
meerkat.
yeah, I don't like it. You know, that bulldog's much better, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Churchill.
Yeah. If you're gonna go for a mascot, make him less annoying.
No, it's going to be the telephone on wheels from the 90s.
God, yeah, I remember the direct line.
Wow.
Fucking hell,
It
what?
does remind me of a toy from my childhood. There was a little
Yeah, I
rolling
had one.
phone.
Coming with a face.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one. Yeah.
I had that.
I vaguely remember that. It was all the same thing as the used to make the farm animal noises. And be like, moo, oh, no.
No, that's a different one. You're thinking of the one with the big spinning wheel on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a different childhood thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that the one with the
Yeah,
popcorn?
yeah, there was one like that as
I
well.
actually have a
Pointing
friend
at an
who
animal.
buys old toys like that make noise and like circuit bends them to make really weird industrial music. It's really cool.
Sounds kind of terrifying.
Has it got a YouTube channel?
Yeah, it is a little bit. There is a YouTube channel, but I don't know what it is. I'll have to send a link and we'll put it on the screen.
There'll be a link.
That's good. Well, you know, boys, we've had a very good show. We had an excellent show.
A round of applause for
yeah,
us,
Except for Joe. Joe didn't attend.
He deserves more applause than the rest of us. Someone has to stand against the popular movement.
The popular people's front.
Good. I like that. So I was thinking, I've been running on empty for a long time. I've been going so hard. I go flat out week in and week out. And I was thinking, after the last show, I was so drained. I was thinking about having a bit of pampering time. Something for me to recharge my batteries and get me back to square one. And I was
Punky Bum Wank.
Well, that's a great lead-in. I was wondering what we do individually to recharge our batteries, to pamper ourselves at a good time, make ourselves feel better.
Joe has a Punky Bum Wank.
I do.
Okay. All right. Well, this is a judgment-free zone. So I was thinking more like a facial mask or a steak or something. But if that's like more,
What kind of steak? I
Unwind.
mean, is this a goth joke or is this a vegetarian joke? 'Cause there's no vegetarians in the room.
how do you live a life without enjoyment? You're like a monk.
I am, with a better haircut.
Debatable.
The monk, the traditional monk haircut is the worst haircut.
Oh, but it's a classic, isn't it?
It's low maintenance.
It's like a lazy version of Lister from Red Dwarf.
No, it's just.
It does have that little
It
bit
is.
at
It
the
is a. I mean, I'm
tied
going. I'm receding. You can see this here. My hairline starts way up here, right? I'm going for the Bill Bailey. I'm going for the full-on.
Sculling.
Yeah.
Mine starts way back,
Sculling,
but
yeah.
I have like a widow's peak, so as they call it.
I've got
So
a
it
widow's
looks
peak
like
as
mine's
well.
receding, but it's really not.
Some people find that to be a very attractive trait. Find that, but that has nothing to do with your pampering.
Yes.
See, I have the opposite. I actually have a just inward right here. I'm having to come to terms with the fact that.
Are you
You got like
So,
a widow's dent.
Yeah, I'm the opposite direction.
so is that going even further, or?
So this is all where it was, but right here. See, I think I was born to have like the nerdy scientist haircut, which is parted in the middle, and it's just such an impossibly bad look. No person in this century can rightfully part their hair. If you have your hair parted in the center, please stop. Stop now.
What is that? Is that
I got my hair
both
parted in the
genders?
centre, but it's tied back. And it's
You're
long.
like, yeah, but it's like it's
So
cool,
you got
like
long
Jim
hair,
Morrison
so-
like kind of
Oh,
thing.
cool.
It's
Yeah,
not.
I've been described as Jim Morrison for the first time in my life.
Right, I'm just saying it's not like nerdy bookworm, parted in the middle, So you don't part your hair in the middle. I think is that the skullet is a step above parting in the middle. That's how bad it is.
I think the worst is like the people that go bald, and just like they have hair around the sides that's like kind of long but not skullet. So you couldn't even go like what's his name?
Bill Bailey.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura,
Yeah,
Hulk Hogan.
like Bill Bailey
Hulk
can cut off
Hogan.
a skullet, but like most people where they just got the short hair at the sides,
Yeah.
it's like for fuck's sake, just shave it off.
Why don't young guys
Just
go
get
for
rid of
this
it.
every once in a
Accept
while?
the fact that you are bald.
Just go for the Caesar cut every so often. By the Caesar cut, I mean bald on the top with a halo like this, like a little wreath.
That
like
would be.
horseshoe.
Yeah, full on.
I think we describe that as the Bobby Charlton.
I describe that as
Was it Bob? No, Bobby Charlton's a comb over, isn't
Bobby
it?
Charlton is the honest, I'm not bald fucking.
Oh, that's so bad. That's
Yeah, that's
so
bad.
tasteless. That's a graceless way for a man to present
Yeah,
himself.
that's right,
Just
that's right.
fucking Statham it off and deal with it.
Statham it off.
Statham it off, yeah. Yeah, but haircut's not the way that I relax, enjoy myself.
No.
No.
So-
I don't. I very rarely get my hair cut anyway, as you can probably tell. And when I do, I just go, Mum, take an inch off, and then she hacks off like 4 inches and choking her.
Oh dear, I've got to do it because you've got split ends. It's like, no! I'm conditioned daily.
Does everyone's mum here cut their hair?
No, my mother's a hairdresser.
Joe's mum
As-
cuts my hair.
As is
Yeah.
mine.
I
Mine was at
attempted
one
it.
point as well.
Yeah, you did a pretty shabby job of cutting my hair. And then
Professionals.
his mum took over and
Fixed it.
What a pro. Is there
Thanks,
anything that moms can't do?
My mum can't fly unassisted.
Rhetorically, you know, she could.
Unassisted, no.
No, that's probably outside the limits of human. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
just
she could-
physically impossible, I think.
But you could soar on the wings of her love.
I could put her in.
Oh,
So
Beautiful. That is
No, one thing I could do is put her in like a giant catapult and send her somewhere else.
look, a real man loves his mother. If you don't love your mother, you fucking tell her you love her. You do it.
I love
Man
you.
up.
I love you,
Let's
Mum.
take a moment.
This is.
I love you, Mum.
I love you, Mum.
I love you, mum.
Love you, mum.
I wish she was more supportive of me, though.
Yeah, I wish you would watch these
it's
posts.
tainted that way.
I know it is. Well, she wouldn't even watch anything I do. I had to make her listen to the song I recorded.
Luke's
Yeah,
mom.
I think the only time my mum has ever seen me perform was on karaoke, and that was just because she likes the version of Truly Madly Deeply that I do. So.
Well, we'll write a
That
letter
is
to the
classic.
warden and see if we can get your mum some time.
Oh, Christ. I'm
yeah,
glad she's not going to watch this, to be honest.
So anyway, how do we unwind? We're talking a lot about haircuts and parents.
Well, I decided to go to sleep
So how do we unwind?
I haven't done
Very
it
relaxed.
in a long time.
You haven't done it in a long time.
No.
Nothing works like an old standard.
I typically get a lot less sleep than is probably humanly healthy. Usually 4 to 5 hours is a pretty decent night. Get me back on track. Some nights 2, some nights 6, and then maybe once a week I just sleep for 24 hours.
Wow.
12 hours, you know, I miss the whole day. So I find it's better like this because then, you know, I don't have time when I'm in the busy, manic time of my life.
But I have never seen you without some form of caffeinated drink.
Yeah, that's because he doesn't sleep very often. He needs them to get him
Maybe
through the
the
day.
two are connected.
Maybe it's just a cycle. Like you can't
Maybe
sleep.
give up the caffeine and then just sleep it off.
How about maybe I
And
kill
then-
you? Don't ever suggest that again.
That was the reaction I saw when people told me to give up cocaine.
At least caffeine is cheap. It's not quite as fun, but you could try.
Oh no, it's quite fun. I'm really caffeine sensitive, so I drink like 2 of those things a day.
Oh, you lucky dog.
So when I'm sat in this call center working, I'm pissing everyone off. I'm a big bouncy hyper crazy guy, and everyone's like, "Fuck you, man! I'm just trying to sell this shit."
And then by the end of your shift, you just crash and fall asleep at the
By the
wheel.
end of my shift, I come home and swear at my wife.
Yeah.
Why isn't enough food on the table? Ah, with the tears again.
Every day, BC, AD, BC before caffeine. AD afterward, dickhead. I think caffeine is amazingly fun. It's the best drug around. It's used by pretty much everybody. The whole world uses caffeine. It's got to be the most popular recreational drug in the world, right?
It's difficult to say, isn't it, without meeting
Is
and
it
knowing the habits of
recreational?
every person.
Is it because it's used? It's I don't know. It's kind of recreational, but not necessarily because some people use it as a medication, like yourself sometimes.
I use it because I can't tolerate this world and its demands without it. And that's the dark truth.
It's a medical thing. Caffeine is your Prozac.
I cannot cope in an organized society having to be awake during the light hours and asleep during the dark hours without drugs. So
Anybody ever tried going? I've reached a level in my life now where alcohol features quite a lot in my life, to the point where I don't think I can sleep without it.
really?
I need to have like a couple of beers before I go to bed. Otherwise, because nighttime is when my brain starts going jigga 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 jigga.
This
Goes a
just
mile a
turned into
minute.
an ABC reality show where he comes out as an alcoholic.
I'm drinking water.
Hey guys, what are you all doing here? We're worried about you, bud.
Intervention.
We have things we want to say to you.
Now everyone grab a drink and we'll sit down and talk.
I just burst into tears.
Me and Luke with the cider and lager on the go, so...
No, I think
Smuggers.
sleeping is for pussies anyway, man. Forget about sleeping. Like, what?
Well, I'm an insomniac, because you know, like, and I have a similar relationship with sleep as you do, by the sound of it. Literally, some nights I'll get 2 hours of sleep, which is alright, and I can get by. But you learn to get by in extremely tired mindset, you know?
Yeah.
And well, I don't know. I find with when I'm like sort of tired, you become more and more insane, but the more tired you get.
Yeah.
And that's really good for writing.
Totally.
Because a little bit of insanity can be good for creativity as a whole.
Sleep is like a bank, and I'm not a direct debit kind of guy. I like to save up and then spend. Spend.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
That's a reasonable thing. It's like with Luke's insomnia is quite fun because like when he used to crash at my place, like he'd be sat on my bedroom floor while I'd be trying to sleep, like trying to complete Sonic 2 with Knuckles. And like there was the worst fucking experience of my life involving him was one night he decided that he was going to complete Sonic 2 and I was like, I had a really hard day in work and we'd had a few drinks and I was past the point of needing to sleep. I thought, dude, I'm going to crash, you carry on playing Sonic, just turn the sound down and we're all good. Now, that was fine until he was like, dude, I got past the level!
Take that, Wiley!
And the level in Sonic, even at the end, only takes 3 minutes. So every 3 minutes he's like grabbing my leg, he's like, dude, I'm just fucking done, I'm getting so close!
Robotic.
And then he's like got like 85 continues and 1 million lives.
Yeah, I fucking
And
smashed
he
it.
couldn't beat the last boss. So he's raging the fuck out as he tends to do. And waking me up all the time. And I'm like, fucking shut up! I fucking hate you so much right now.
I got into
And then he had game over. And he didn't complete it. And I thought, okay, maybe he's just gonna let it go.
Oh no.
And he'll go to sleep and we'll do it tomorrow and I'll be awake and I can help him with it because that's all he wants me to do is help him with it.
Because all the chaos emeralds.
He's
right there.
sleep
No,
deprived.
you know when you get like when you rage in at a game and you've literally right. I'm too angry. I'm too angry to work the buttons. I'm too angry to work the buttons. Ah! And I just needed Joe just to like, step in for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And because I was fucking shouting.
I'm like, I can only open my eyes this far,
the face.
right? And I think, right, he's got game over, it's over. He's pissed off, but he's going to watch something on TV now and go to sleep. No, he starts again.
And I fucking did it.
And 85 lives and 1 million continues later, he actually completes Sonic 2 at 6 in the fucking morning.
With Knuckles.
At which point I
all
get
the
up.
chaos emeralds.
At which point I sit up and go,
Fucking-
congratulations, dude, you absolute cunt. It's 6 in the morning, I haven't slept. And he was like, dude, go downstairs and make tea. And the worst part was that I did.
That is awful.
That's terrific.
Or it should be a shame.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
So I suppose.
For me, that was the best point in our relationship.
I've never hated you more.
So I suppose Luke's way of winding down is to wind someone else up.
Maybe. I don't know. With computer games, if I set myself a target and I have to beat it, I find it incredibly annoying. I rage like fuck when I play computer games, don't I?
You do. Especially old games. And that's the one thing I found is funny is that when you play old games and you can't do them like you could when you were 6. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Well, I was just saying, you know, the two that for me, Mega Man and Mortal Kombat, those are the two that now.
Mortal Kombat now pisses me off so much.
Yeah, today I was at a place and they were having a Halo tournament. I didn't know this was like a drinking Halo tournament, so you have to get drunk when your team loses, or something. Like, but they were, you know, there was 7 of them and they wanted me to join, and I was like, I don't really play PC gaming master race. I don't play on filthy consoles. Use 2 sticks to run around in a circle. I require.
Says the guy who spent 6 hours playing NHL 08 over this house when we first moved in.
Won the shootout.
Yeah, that was a good session, man.
Look, that's good game by the way.
Yeah,
but that's different. That's different. Running around and shooting guys. I'm so old now, and I played with a mouse and keyboard for so long. I cannot compete. The other guys had like the lowest was like 150 points. I had 10.
Yeah, you gotta bear in mind that we're of the Duke Nukem 3D generation, so we're used to the fucking arrows or one stick.
Yeah, dude.
One stick tops
to
move.
Yeah.
The other stick is like doesn't matter because the buttons do the shooting and everything like that, and the stick moves you around. When you got the 2 sticks, that fucks with me.
You can't turn the same way that you can with a mouse and keyboard. I can look any direction, any way that I want to, and turn my body any way at any
As
time.
quickly or as slowly as you need.
Totally. And
It's the Duke Nukem 3D generation.
Yeah, we're
That's us.
superior, I'm afraid. I think there was a game, I think it was Unreal Tournament years ago, where they opened it up where you could play on a console versus the PC guys, and you could play in the same game at the same time, and they all rage quit. All the console guys were totally wiped by the PC guys because it's not really competitive. It's not on the same level.
It's a whole different thing because you can aim, you can move, you got your buttons, you fire. You know, everything else is surplus to requirements. As long as you can move forward, backwards, and turn, and you can actually shoot your gun, that's all you need. Once you've perfected that with a mouse and keyboard, there's no transposing that over to a console.
Different feeling altogether. I have respect, though, for players who play with a paddle in it, who are excellent, top-notch, quick-scoping marksmen, you know, accused of cheating because they're so... I appreciate their artistry. But I'm too old. I can't do that anymore. I can't do that. It would help you with your attitude if you ever discover online gaming, like serious, you know, online multiplayer online games and stuff like that, because those are a person with OCD. Like, if you're a perfectionist, completionist type person, they're a fool's errand.
That's one of the things that I think if Luke had ever gone to World of Warcraft or anything like that, we would never have seen him, and this would never have happened.
He would have starved to death, is what would have happened. He wouldn't have eaten for like 3 months, and then we see him just emaciated mess on the floor, kind of going, I gotta get to level
with
75.
That have actually bonded with the keyboard and mouse.
Nah, I don't think I'd get that bad, but I can see where you're coming from, all of you, because I've myself made the decision not to play World of Warcraft because it is so fucking immersive and people can't. I've lost.
It's too good. You just say no.
I've literally lost.
Someone comes up and
friends
offers you Warcraft, you tell them no.
Yeah, it's like heroin.
Exactly right. It was like no. Cold shoulder. Use any other number of repeating, you know, skipping record, any other technique you can. Tell them you're not that kind of person.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by Heck Yes. Wow. Just say no.
So yeah,
this goes out to my sister.
Incidentally, I accidentally renewed the subscription to the online game. I was just playing like 2 days ago, so now I have to play it for another month. Sorry.
What was that? What is that?
WildStar. It's like a sci-fi.
I heard about that
It's
one.
WoW in space. It's like a sci-fi comic book multiplayer online
You've
game.
had to tell about it now.
I tried that one for a while, DC Online.
Oh yeah.
I didn't like
that.
that.
One was okay, but it was like, it just felt like a normal platforming game, and then every now and again you'd sort of run into something that was multiplayer.
Yeah. I didn't like it. I thought it was repetitive and boring.
A bit weird.
But that's why I like, because I like platform games. I like that type of game. I like to play a game when I'm bored on my own and I've got no one to hang out with. I don't see games as a social thing.
See, I do that. I masturbate when I'm bored on my own.
Yeah.
I'm married.
So you masturbate a lot.
You masturbate. While she watches with a look of disdain.
You don't need to drag anyone else into this.
No, okay, fair enough.
No, online games, I think a lot of online games are just trying to be online for the sake of being online now. Like, Elder Scrolls Online is just Skyrim on the internet. Who gives a shit? I don't care.
Grand Theft Auto Online.
Does it need to be?
What the fuck? Like?
So you go around, instead of killing...
I think Grand Theft Auto could work. I mean, I haven't even played the new one.
Grand Theft Auto would be no fun in that sort of situation, from my perspective, because everyone's a criminal.
Yeah.
And you're not just running over innocent pedestrians and things.
It's
You're
just
running over other people.
that way. It's just Mexico.
I think that's interesting because you can like literally have a nemesis on the other side of the world, and you can sort of compete and murder them.
I think if you're gonna do
build up all that fucking pure hatred, which is
if you're gonna have a massively multiplayer online experience where you're doing sort of gangster style stuff, you need to have the Warriors, don't you? You'd have a Warriors game.
Well, actually, there was a Warriors game.
There is. There's a game called Chivalry, Medieval Warfare. If you've heard of this game, it is a first-person slasher. So imagine Halo or any game like it, except you got guys with bows and arrows and pole arms and swords and armor, and you'd run around on a simulated medieval field and kill the shit out of each other, Braveheart style. And it's a little rough around the edges, but fun, totally different kind of game. I really enjoyed that one.
It would be sort of similar to like Thief or something like that then.
Except with less hiding and more disemboweling.
Yeah, but Thief is like a first-person sneaker they describe, isn't it? So
the latest one was cack.
Yeah, I've read like mixed reviews.
There's a part of this game, if anybody has played Thief, they'll understand. There's a part of this game where basically you have to steal a pair of earrings, right? And you have to end up stealing them off the woman's ears. And you're just thinking, no matter how good a thief you are...
You just wait, wouldn't you?
You would. You'd wait till night time and... You wouldn't
can you like clonk her on the head?
No. You sneak up, she sat on a chair, you know, and you just kind of go... and take them off her ears.
I hate it when games that you love go shit like this after a series for a while. Like you feel so attached emotionally to a game series, and then they fuck it up.
Broken
It's like this
Sword.
is
Broken Sword.
Aw.
Fucked with my world.
yeah.
So harsh.
It must be like
First
this.
two
This
were
is what it's-
amazing, and then number 3 was like a Tomb Raider style.
right.
It was like
Because it was a point and click adventure.
Yeah,
right?
it was point.
I
and
love
click,
point
it
and
was
click
amazing.
adventure games, man.
And those are my favourite type of games, like those and side-scrolling platforms where you have to just jump on bad guys' heads, because
Sure.
that is my mental capacity.
Traditional.
Yeah, and
Simplistic.
Broken Sword, the point and click was great, and then they did this Tomb Raider style number 3.
I
and
quite
number
like
4
Broken
sort
Sword
of. Really?
Yeah, I got into it. I
couldn't shake
It was
the
just
whole.
the
This
story.
doesn't feel right.
It's the storyline, you know.
The storyline is still brilliant, but
Sound
the-
like
the
reading and
gameplay
shit.
is
I
shit.
want to kill things.
but then
It's not an
then they
Xbox,
went
is it?
back
No.
to they went back to point and click for number 4, which I haven't played yet. So I need to check that out, and they've just released 5. So.
Nostalgia is
I-
always good with games and things. That's one of the things that's best about it is a feeling of taking you back. Like, I don't know if you ever do this, but sometimes if you play a video game while you have music on,
Yeah.
then they get linked together in your brain.
Yeah.
And then every time
That's
you
right.
hear the music, you think of that scene in the
Yeah.
game, or the scene in the game will remind you of a song.
I
Instantly,
remember when
yeah,
I remember when
that.
Limp Bizkit's $3 Bill album came out, and the song I think "Think About It" is on there.
Yeah.
And I remember playing a game. It was set in World War II, and you were a fighter pilot, and you flew around in Spitfires and shot down other Messerschmitts and shit like that. And I always, whenever I hear "Think About It" now, at the end, we're just going. I just imagine myself like flying through the air in this little
That's
Spitfire.
interesting because Limp Bizkit makes me think of murder as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's the first thing that comes to mind.
I remember when I was getting into Limp Bizkit, adolescent phase of foolishness. No, they're not actually that bad.
Yes, they are.
No, they're
Oh,
not.
they're hilarious. They're very
You
tongue in
heard the
cheek.
new
Yeah.
song?
Think about it.
Yeah,
They're
that's
fucking.
true.
You
I
gotta
would
think
say.
about
It's so bad.
I would say they're better
No,
than
it's not.
Korn.
It's funny.
It's not Bloodhound Gang funny.
No, but
They're
it's
not- they're not a
it's
funny
not
band.
it's not meant to be overtly funny. It's meant to be tongue in cheek, a bit satirical, a bit of a piss take, and so that's what essentially he's
The only
He's
piss
doing-
take involved with this Limp Bizkit is the fact that we've had to listen to them for the last 13 years.
Yeah, the thing is, right, Tenacious D is a piss take. The difference is that when they turn it on, they're actually good musicians.
Yeah.
And so therefore it holds up. Where Limp Bizkit, they have a good DJ.
they got a
Yeah,
Basically,
House
it's
of
good,
Pain.
man.
they got
Yeah,
an
they got a
average
good-
they got an average drummer, and Wes Borland's an alright guitarist.
He's very
He
well
got
connected.
sacked out of Marilyn Manson for 2 days. Now, if you can't handle playing Marilyn Manson's music on guitar, then there's some shit wrong with
Yeah.
I think it's probably more about being able to keep up with them than anything else. Isn't it? They party hard. No, like I've got old Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy 6 or 3 was released here, and there's this stupid punk rock album that I was listening to in 98 or 97, skater punk rock, and now every fucking time I hear one of the songs on that compilation, all I can think of is playing video games when I was that age. It's interesting how things stick in your mind.
Yeah,
We talked a lot about video games, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been. Oh,
Very
very-
video
well, we are the
based.
fucking generation of computer games. Aren't we?
Scabby white guys talk about video games. Fucking shit.
Yeah, YouTube needs more of that.
Well, that's the thing. One of the things that's never really brought up is the fact that it was our generation was probably the first to
Yeah,
become
we
that
had-
immersed in video game culture.
And it's
As,
grown
a,
with
as an
us.
actual culture.
Yeah, it has.
We've
It's
fucking-
it's evolved as we've grown up.
It's a fucking bigger industry now than Hollywood.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah.
There's
It
a
makes
there's a thing.
more profit than Hollywood.
There's a thing I read. The Harry Potter franchise. What are we talking? 8 books, 7, 8 books, all multi-million sellers, 7, 8 films, whatever. Fucking big box office successes.
Billions of dollars.
A theme park.
Yeah, merchandising.
Merchandising, blah blah blah. Right. All of that, right, was eclipsed by Halo 1 in terms of cash yield,
Profit. That's incredible.
which is
Gross profits.
I mean, like, we're talking about ridiculous amounts of money just in Harry Potter, but apparently Halo 1 made more money.
That's not enough to make.
Well, I know.
Well, that brings up
Is
interesting
that
thing.
sorry? Is that raw sales of the game itself, or is it also the sort of Xbox the original Xbox console? Because I know for a fact that
J.K. Rowling's a
a
billionaire.
lot of people saw Halo. A lot of Sony fans, PlayStation fans, saw Halo and thought, I gotta get myself an Xbox so I can play this game. And I know Xbox Halo was wholly responsible for about 20% of the original Xbox
Yeah.
sales.
Wow. It was the killer app that drove it.
Master Chief was basically Xbox's equivalent of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Or your Mario or whatnot.
Well, I don't know. I read it years ago, and I'm not sure
This brings
to
up
what
an
extent.
interesting
But
point, though, with talking about comparing it to art forms like cinema, and it's one that you brought up a few months back. Has video game creation become an art form?
100%.
Yes, absolutely.
100%. And I'll tell you why.
Oh, please do. We already agree with you, but tell us why we agree with you, Dylan.
Quiet down, quiet.
I'll just suck on this egg for a while.
Here comes the sermon. Because video games use visual media and audio media and storytelling, which are the three major pillars of media in the West. Visual art, audio, and storytelling. And it uses them all interchangeably.
And also allows for human interaction.
Absolutely.
Which
Which is the
personalizes
difference.
the experience.
Yeah, which is the difference between sitting on the TV and having tactile response to the thing that you're involved with. You don't get that with a stage show. You don't get that with any other kind of live performance.
You get
have
those
to-
at pantomime.
Yeah,
A
that's
little
true.
bit, but
And if you come and
so-
talk shit at our show, you're gonna get involved. Sucker, you know what's up?
Class. Come on. Tell us more.
So video games are able to create a stamp on your life. They're able to you intertwine with them just like you would any other art form. You know, and they can be good or they can be bad, and they can critique and they can offer a narrative into human existence, and they can also just be a good place to kill stuff. So it could be
It's beautiful. It's beautiful imagery. I love.
The question is
I
now,
love you. Dylan.
Whereas
I
we
love you.
all now agree that video gaming, well, not video gaming, but video game creation has become an art form, where do you draw the line?
I've got it.
Hello Kitty Adventure Island.
Right? No.
No wait, Kiss, Hello Kitty.
No, that's the
Adventure.
game on which Nintendogs, Hello Kitty Adventure Island, yeah, and then
Everything else.
yeah, because
Well, here's an interesting question. Is social media an art form? I think it absolutely 100% can be.
Can be.
But it's not in general. In general use, it's just a way of messaging your friends.
Look,
But
Way of
oh,
bullying
right,
people
here we
online.
go. Here we go. Is conversation an art form?
Yes.
Yeah, I
It
think
can
so,
be.
yeah.
It's
Because
not.
it doesn't necessarily have to be, but
No.
it can be.
That's the same with social
a
media.
cup of coffee doesn't have to be an art form, but it can. The way that Lloyd masturbates is an art form. To some people, it's just a hobby.
The way he
Fine.
uses his feet, it's just
Anyway,
insane.
some people can take things to another level. Is social networking inherently that? I don't think it is. The use of it, perhaps, because there are people
but
who
it-
are manipulators of any system.
For
social
example,
system.
parody accounts on Twitter.
Yeah, cunts.
Yeah. Fucking hilarious accounts. I mean, there are some accounts on Twitter which I follow more fake politicians on Twitter than I do actual politicians, and they're fucking funny.
I love the Twitter God
I've
page.
got a great one. That's
God on
supposed to be
Twitter.
the Queen, Elizabeth Windsor on Twitter. That's amazing.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, well, I will
Fucking
check that out.
hilarious.
But I mean, obviously, it's not an art form in any sort of grand sense, but it's using human creativity and ingenuity, which is
a
a staple of art.
Yeah, that's the fundamental sort of.
And it's providing
Underlying-
enjoyment for an audience.
It's the underlying provision of art, isn't it? Is
No.
creativity.
I disagree. See, because in order to be true art, to be free of corruption and influence, it must have two aims, right? So, one, it must be an honest expression, and two, it must not be for esteem or wealth. And social media is for esteem, and therefore it falls under the same problems that any other art form does when it's corrupted by people who use it for a non-genuine purpose.
Hang on a minute. No, you brought up an interesting thing there. Side note. Free from corruption and influence.
Mhm.
To say that any art is free from influence is a fucking lie.
Sure.
Outright.
Mm.
It's
Sure.
a fucking lie.
Yeah,
say
it's a troublesome definition you've got there.
it's done for it's done for-
Corruption is the inspiration for most art.
True, true. I say it's
Therein
it's done.
lies a massive flaw in your definition.
Mhm.
So therefore lies a flaw in your point.
Right.
Mm.
I would say that if you do it more for the art than the esteem granted from it, then that's pure and genuine.
Yeah,
But people use these platforms as a method of gaining esteem, and they use it for the likes, and they do it for the subscribes, and they do it for the clicks. Heck yes, comedy. Find us on YouTube, find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter.
Because you want people to see the art you've created. So they do manipulate their art in order to gain a better.
But then what about
that is still created by that one person, and therefore it's still just as
what about
genuine
things
as it
like
would have been in the first place.
But what about things like graffiti art? Graffiti art. And
Some of
street
us are
art.
meeting.
You know, so it is incredible. Look at what Banksy has done. But is Banksy a sellout for bringing that into sort of
For being known.
for being known as
but no one
Banksy?
actually knows who Banksy is.
Banksy knows who Banksy is.
Banksy.
You know who you are. You know what? Only women say that to you.
I hope that Banksy.
You know what you've done. No.
No, I don't. I don't know what I've done.
I think
Tell me.
Banksy is possibly, for being as well known as he is, probably one of the greatest graffiti artists out there.
Is Banksy
on
a girl?
that basis alone, not
Is
not
Banksy
necessarily
a-
because his art is good.
I wouldn't have guessed so.
Is Banksy a girl? I've heard that before.
That could
No,
be
I don't
that
think
could
it
be the
is.
case.
Yeah.
It could be the case, but I don't.
I like the idea
I
of,
guess-
an
I guess
androgynous, raceless sort of V-type figure
Yeah.
for Banksy, rather than if you're like, oh, it's a bloke from Scunthorpe. All of a sudden,
I nearly forgot that.
Hasn't begun yet.
Thank you.
He,
Yeah,
hasn't,
losing-
he hasn't mentioned Skynet
It
yet.
loses the
Skynet!
Banksy is Skynet.
Banksy is Skynet! Sorry.
No, we discovered that Joan Rivers was Skynet.
Yeah,
Joan
Joan
Rivers.
Rivers.
Oh,
She has
Rest well, you slut.
yeah, fucking. I'm not too sad about Joan Rivers.
she had a lot of jokes. They were stored on the cloud in a net in the sky. It's kind of a sky.
I don't know. It's like okay, she was a fucking dick.
She was a
but, I mean,
witch.
Unfortunate.
She was
What
a
happened?
horrific. No, she was a horrific, horrendous bully who picked on people for her image. She's so insecure about her own appearance. She's made her own face look like some sort of backwards, inside-out cat lizard, right? She had no right to have a go at people about their image when she has that kind of insecurity. She was a bully.
Absolutely fair point.
She was
Getting
a
educated.
bully. She
Bullshit.
was mean and she was spiteful.
Bullshit. She's exactly the right person. She's exactly the right person because she knows all there is to know about having a fucked up face. You're gonna take advice from some person who started out perfect. They don't know. Yeah.
She knew.
Right.
Skynet.
That's like these people that are like, don't do drugs, because drugs are bad. I know. I've never fucking done any of them.
Yeah, like a Christian page about. Have you seen the Christian page on
What's this?
Facebook that is fundamentally anti like cannabis? And there was one particular.
No doom.
There was one particular post where it showed it showed a guy who was like freaking baccalaureate, fucking top of the class, and he's like, yeah, so this is Joe, and he was a straight A student, and this and that, and blah 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 blah.
And this is Joe on drugs.
And then there was a picture of like a mummified corpse, right?
Yeah,
A mummified
I did see
corpse,
this.
and it said like, this is him after smoking one marijuana.
Yeah.
Now, the ignorance within that one sentence, this is Joe after smoking one marijuana,
After
is
taking, it was just taking.
taking one marijuana. And you're there going, oh, the pig ignorance of that statement.
It's nice.
Yeah, is it a
I
parody
don't even
account? though?
understand.
Like the Christians against Slipknot.
I'm done. Yeah, I've had enough.
I'm spent.
Yeah.
I'm
It
horny.
was oddly intellectual conversation this time.
Hmm.
Do you feel sort of
It was,
stimulated?
but it remained. It
But
remained
that's
so
where we
tense.
are.
That's where we end. I had something and it was
Yeah.
there and gone, and the intellectual just left the room.
Well,
I think we sort of realised this time to end this.
Brain just went up, fuck it, I'm leaving.
we'll have to
Yeah.
resume our Mensa studies and get to puzzle crunching and committing
I'm off
Sudoku
to
on a regular
renew my
basis.
menstrual cycle.
Cool.
Minstrel?
Minstrel.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's your minstrel?
What was that?
It was my menstrual cycle.
Oh, minstrel. Oh, right. Ah, you're playing your vagina like an accordion.
This guy.
Sexy.
This guy.
This fucking guy. This fucking guy.
This fucking guy.
This fucking
I'm walking here.
Hey, I'm Christopher Walken.
We're done.
We're done. Thanks for watching. You have a good evening.
Suck it.
Drop it like the mic.